tales of the skeleton warriors.
Woo! Happy Halloween, everybody. That's right, it's Halloween, and we're going to be talking about the Skeleton Warriors toy line from Playmates, which came out around, excuse me, I want to say 1994. Playmates, Skeleton Warriors, 1994. And I never had these as a kid because in 1994, I was in college. So I never got the Skeleton Warriors, but I do have a mint in box collection now, and I haven't taken them out of the packages, but I want to show them to you in package and talk about them a little bit. This is going to be part of our Halloween series. We did the Dark Crystal, which is sort of Halloween, and now we're going to do the Skeleton Warriors, which I would say if there was ever a toy line that bridged the gap between horror toys and action-adventure sci-fi fantasy toys, it would have to be the Skeleton Warriors. So welcome and happy Halloween to everybody. So glad you came today to Alec Toys Reviews here. So we're going to start off with the two boxed vehicles and creature that they had. So this guy's really cool. He is Baron Dark's fully armored skeletal steed, skeleton horse, if you will. These toys were pretty amazing. They were highly detailed. Like, you'd be hard pressed to find anything on the market like this today that was as detailed as these. And again, the 80s takes the win. 80s, 90s toys take the win for just quality in what you got, more bang for your buck. When I think about lines like the Sectors line and all the thought, creativity, and details that went into that, I'm just amazed. And Skeleton Warriors was right up in there with everything. You can see all the extra weapons, and he's got some action features. You press down on the Compu skull to launch the spring-fired blade missile. So again, kind of like Masters of the Universe or Sectors or Power Lords or a lot of those lines, they were combining fantasy with science fiction in this line. It was very much a fantasy world, like a Dungeons and Dragons type world, with all these sci-fi and spaceship type elements mixed in. So that was Baron Dark's. So it looks like the win for vehicles and weapons beasts go to the bad guys. You also get this Baron Dark attack cycle. So Baron Dark's the only one that got any wheels or anything to ride on. So that's pretty cool. But I guess any of the Skeleton Warriors could have ridden this thing. This is the transforming attack cycle. It's really awesome. It has several action features. This one has got a lot of French. It says Playmates made these, which they did, but it also says Ideal, which is interesting on here. But you can kind of see the details of it there. Really cool vehicle. It shoots a projectile out of the front, a bladed projectile out of the front. The Skeleton Legion Skull Cycle is what it's called. All right, so we're going to start with the villains, because really the selling point for this action figure line was the villains. The heroes were okay. We'll talk about them at the end. But it was the Skeleton Warriors themselves, the villains who were reanimated skeletal corpses, basically, with science fiction type weapons that really made this line great. So starting out with the only female in the series, you've got Shriek. There was a female good guy, but they never got around to making her, because I think these guys made it wave 1, they never got to wave 2. I think a lot of people have made customs of her. I'd like to get a custom eventually, just to sort of round out the line. But she's great. She comes with a bone blood scythe, a skeletal stiletto, a crossbone, the skeletal dragon, and she is She's got a lightning crystal fragment in her headdress there. So she's the evil lady of the group. They all have a bio card on the back, which is kind of cool. You can clip and collect. And if I ever open mine, I'll definitely save the card backs. You got here probably my favorite in the entire line. This was the hardest to get. I think he's still the hardest to get. Dr. Cyborn, because he has vac metallized parts, metallic parts that are really amazing. I hope you can get a good look at him there. He has the, man, I can't hardly read this. The spring-powered acid blaster, the evil ionizer, the muscle mashing mace, and they all got this light crystal fragment embedded in their skull or somewhere in their head. And he's got his bio card here. Dr. Cyborn, really, really cool. I think the hardest to find. I think I had to get him online. The rest of these I might have gotten at I cannot remember how I attained my Skeleton Warriors. Maybe on eBay, but I might have gotten them from a store, from a comic book store too. But I do remember I had to chase this guy down. He was the hardest to get. All right, what else we got here? The main villain, Baron Dark, the main bad guy, the Skeletor of Skeleton Warriors. Pretty cool. He's got the, I don't know how a skeleton reanimated has long black hair with no gray in it, but there you go. Baron Dark has a spring-powered dark shard sword, a bone battle axe, a baronic blaster, and also the crystal fiber. These guys had a cartoon. They had a comic book line, I think from Marvel. I think it was Marvel that did it. And I think for a short time it was fairly successful. But I don't remember kids talking a lot about the Skeleton Warriors back in the day. This is Dagger. Yeah, these guys are great. Like, if you just want to have skeleton pirates for a fantasy collection, if you want to have Skeletor have skeletal legions for He-Man and them to battle, this is a great line to collect, even if you don't stick with the established mythos. He has a spring-fired, flesh-pounding chromium hammer, a bone blade, and a skull blaster. I think the skull blaster was probably standard issue, kind of like Stormtrooper blasters in Star Wars, right? For a Skeleton Warrior. Very, very cool. What else you got? All right, that's the good guys. One more bad guy. Ooh, Aracula. He's a spider-type Skeleton Warrior. He's got 6 arms and all kinds of cool features. Spring-powered, bone-crushing Tarantulax. A goo gun, I think, and a wind maker shield or something like that. But he's pretty great. I think that they re-released some of the Skeleton Warriors more recently, like after 2000. I think some of them got some re-release. There might have been a short resurgence in popularity for them. I don't know how many got it. I don't think the whole line got re-released. I know that Prince Lightstar, he's available in a couple of different styles with a couple different swords. But I only have the initial 1994 release. Favorite good guy right here, Grimskull. This is a great concept. He was a heroic warrior who, I don't know, got mixed up with the Skeleton Warrior, somehow got mixed up with the darkness, and is always sort of bridging the gap between light and dark, kind of like a conflicted Jedi, right? And he was a very interesting character, definitely the most interesting hero of the thing. He has a spring-powered blast staff, a bone dog, the skeleton canine, and a skeleton finder. So these guys had tech, man. They had technology. They had cycles to ride on. They had lasers, blasters. They had laser weapons. They had some cool stuff, but they also had that magic and mystical fantasy element in there. And again, I could have read comics just about Grimskull. I can see a guy, he makes me think of Chakan, the Forever Man, which was one of those original Sega Genesis games, right? The skeleton man that went around with the swords. And he definitely could have carried his own show or his own cartoon or whatever. This is the most dull character. This is the man-at-arms of Skeleton Warriors. Yursak the Guardian. But you gotta have this guy. He's the human warrior. He's the knight. He's the armored dude. He's the weapons maker. Spring-powered polarizer rifle. Bone buster axe. What does that say? Resonator arbiter. and a skeleton finder. So looks like the good guys have skeleton finders so they can track down the skeleton warriors, I guess obliterate them, take them out and everything. But yeah, he's okay. I mean, he's just a dull human character. I like Lightstar. Lightstar, he's the Luke Skywalker, he's the He-Man of skeleton warriors, Prince Lightstar. Mine has a red sword. I think there's other Lightstars with maybe a gold sword or a blue sword. I'm not quite sure. Maybe a yellow sword. I think there's some various things with Lightstar there. But he's got some cool weapons. He's got the light shard sword, so I guess his sword was made out of some kind of shard, some kind of crystal. So that's pretty cool. Spring-fired skeleton polarizer, a something blade knife, and of course a skeleton finder. So, and they've all got like a lightning crystal on their armor, or on their torsos or whatever. So Prince Lightstar, the hero, the protagonist, if you will, of Skeleton Warriors. So that's pretty much it, guys. Skeleton Warriors is an awesome toy line from 1994. I'm rocking my... Ooh, I'm going to show you guys something. If you hold on for me just a second. Dun, 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 dun. So in honor of Halloween, and since I'm rocking my Skeletor shirt today, when I did my Masters Universe Customs video that I did not too terribly long ago, I forgot this guy. This is a custom Skeletor that I created. I painted the traditional armor black, and it's all it is non-hooded Skeletor. It's a Scareglow head inserted onto a Skeletor body, and it looks pretty cool. And I painted the sword black and everything. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to show that off to you guys. I'm real proud of him. Just, you know, every now and then Skeletor takes his hood off and he looks like Scareglow. Ongoing debate about Skeletor and Scareglow. Was Scareglow the ghost of Skeletor? Like, Skeletor could become like Doctor Strange, he could project himself astrally and become a ghost? Or was Scareglow a completely different character altogether? I think where it landed was Scareglow as a different character altogether. But I always thought it was kind of cool to think of Skeletor being able to astral project as well. But anyway, in honor of Halloween, Skeletor says bye. I'm staying by. Our next video will be a Halloween-y kind of video. We're going to go over the reaction figures of the Nightmare Before Christmas. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, guys.